Hey everyone, it's Robin from Rose and Lily. In this video, we're going to make this cute little ghost. This pattern is great because it's no-sew and it works up really quickly. First, you'll need some chunky or super chunky plush yarn in white. You'll also need a USG crochet hook or a hook to match the yarn you're using, as well as polyfill, safety eyes, scissors, a yarn needle, and stitch markers. The stitches you need to know beforehand are magic ring, single crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet, increase, decrease, front loops only, back loops only, and we'll be going through the bobble stitch in this tutorial. We're going to start at the top of the head and work down. In round 1, it's 6 single crochet in a magic ring. I'll put the link to my detailed tutorial on the magic ring at the top of the video. Pull the ring tight, and as always, I'll be putting a stitch marker in the last stitch of each round. In round 2, we are doing 2 single crochet into each stitch from round 1. This means we're doing 6 increases, which will bring the total of round 2 up to 12 stitches. In round 3, it's a single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet, which is an increase, into the second stitch. And we do all of that 6 times in total, so a single crochet followed by an increase. This will bring the total of round 3 up to 18 stitches. In round 4, it's 2 single crochet, and then an increase, and we do all of that 6 times. This will bring us up to 24. Now we will do 4 rounds of 24 single crochet a round without any increases. So that's rounds 5 to 8, and I'll do these 4 rounds off camera. In this round, we're going to be creating bobble stitches for the arms. So we start with 6 single crochet. Now we do the bobble stitch into the next stitch. So we yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through a loop. Now we're going to do that 4 more times into the same stitch. So yarn over, insert into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through a loop. So we've done it twice, and here's the 3rd time, and then a 4th time, and finally a 5th time. Now if your yarn is very thick, you might not be able to do this 5 times, so you can try do it 3 or 4 times instead. To complete the bobble, we yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. and pull on the working yarn a bit to tighten it. So that's the first arm. And now we do 10 single crochet to go over to the second arm. Now we're doing a bobble stitch the same way as before. And we finish off the round with 6 single crochet. Now we can attach the eyes, and they are going between rounds 7 and 8. And 5 stitches apart. Just make sure they are symmetrical with the arms, so you might need to move them around a little bit. Once you're happy with the placement, you can attach the backs. For rounds 10 to 11, so that's 2 rounds, we're doing 24 single crochet a round. It might be a bit tight going into the bobble stitch, so just go slowly and carefully here. At this point, we're going to add stitch markers to the first and last back loops of round 11. So here's the last stitch and the first stitch. I'm adding a pink marker to the back loop of the first stitch of round 11. Here's the marker for the last stitch of round 11 in the front loop, and I'll be adding a blue one to the back loop. This will really help us to find these back loops later. In round 12, we're going to be working in the front loops only. And we're going to be making the frilly part of the ghost. So there's the back loop that we marked, and we're only working into this front loop here. Now into this stitch, we're doing a single crochet, and then a half double crochet into the same stitch, and a single crochet into that same stitch. And a slip stitch into the next front loop. Now we repeat that in the next front loop it's a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a single crochet. In the next front loop, it's a slip stitch. We should now have 2 little frills. And we're going to do this all the way around, which means we should have 12 frills in total. So I have 2 stitches left in the round, and this will be my last frill. And the slip stitch goes into my last front loop. And we should still have those markers in the back loops like so. The next round is all going to be worked into these back loops that we marked. So here's the first one and the last one of the round. With this plush yarn, it can be difficult to see these back loops, but with the front and end marked, it should be a little bit easier. The first stitch of round 13 will be going in the first back loop. I recommend adding a marker to this first stitch of round 13. And we're going to carry on doing single crochets in those back loops all the way around. It might be tricky to see them, but just wiggle your hook around and it should go through the right loops. And here's the last stitch of round 13 into that last marked back loop. Now we can remove those stitch markers from those back loops of round 11. And I'll move my stitch marker for the end of round. So earlier we marked the first stitch of round 13, and that's where we're starting our next round. We'll now be working through both loops again as normal. So we do a single crochet, and we don't need this marker anymore. And then we do a decrease. And I like to do an invisible decrease like so. And we're going to do all of that again. So a single crochet and then a decrease. We're going to do this all the way around, which is 8 times in total. After round 14, we can add stuffing. Make sure to push out those bobble stitches for the arms. In round 15, we're doing 8 decreases. This will bring down the total from 16 to 8. After round 15, cut the yarn, leaving a bit of a tail for sewing. To sew the hole closed, go through the front loops of the last 8 stitches. Pull on the yarn tail and flatten the bottom. Insert the yarn tail into the piece and bring it through to a few different places to secure it. And that is the little ghost completed. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The free written pattern for this ghost will be on my website.